Versatile Infotainment provides thousands of informative videos of our viewers. If you want more informative videos, please like and subscribe our channel. So let's go our topic.
Mariah Carey is a $340 million rich American singer, songwriter, record producer, businesswoman, and actress. One of the top 15 selling musicians in history is Mariah Carey. She has sold more than 200 million albums worldwide to date. After Madonna, Mariah is the second best-selling female artist of all time. Throughout its chart history, she has penned more one songs than any other female writer-producer. She has won 15 Billboard Music Awards, 10 Emmys, and 5 Grammys as of this writing. She recorded a demo in the 1980s while working several jobs in New York, but she struggled to get anyone to listen to it. Eventually, Brenda Kay, Star noticed her and introduced her to the right people. At a party, Mariah Carey gave her demo to Tommy Mottola, a Columbia Records executive, at Star's request. He signed her right away after spending 2 weeks trying to locate her. Throughout the 1990s, she ruled the charts. Her debut album stayed at the top for 11 weeks. Her second album was not as popular, even though it was rushed through production and only came out a year later. However, the recording of her MTV Unplugged appearance went triple platinum. She went on to record One Sweet Day with Boys He I Men and make 3 more hugely successful albums. The song One Sweet Day held the #1 spot on the charts for 16 weeks, which is the longest any song has ever stayed there. Tommy Mottola was also married to her. After that, things started to get worse. Despite their success, her next 2 albums fell short of the pop monsters of her early career. She desired more artistic freedom. She was not willing to accept it from the label. Sales started to decline because they were less eager to promote her art. She split from both of them in the early 2000s when her marriage to her spouse and her friendship with Columbia started to deteriorate. After she signed with Virgin Records in 2001, her situation deteriorated further. She essentially broke under Virgin, ended up in the hospital, vanished for a long while, and her one and only project under the label, the movie and music Glitter, was critically acclaimed but received little attention from the general public. A few years later, she joined with Island Def Jam, and the label guided her cautiously through a professional resurgence over the course of 2003 and 2004. Their plan had been successful, as evidenced by her 11th album, The Emancipation of Mimi. It sold close to 8 million copies globally in 2005, making it the best-selling album by a female artist. She has remained well-liked and musically relevant ever since. Key facts: has sold 200 million albums worldwide, is the second best-selling female artist of all time, has more one songs than any other female artist, was paid $50 million to produce one album for Virgin Records, made $18 billion to appear on one season of American Idol, makes $600 a year in All I Want for Christmas royalties, has made $60, 100 million so far from All I Want for Christmas. Early years. On March 27, 1969, Mariah Carey was born in Huntington, New York. She is Irish, Afro-Venezuelan, and African-American. Her father's father changed his last name from Nunes to Carey after relocating to New York. Her mother was a vocal coach and opera singer formerly. When Mariah was 3 years old, the parents divorced. During her time at Harborfields High School in Green Lawn, New York, Mariah developed her interest in poetry and early music. She has always been interested in the arts, especially music. In 1987, she received her high school diploma. Mariah became friends with Gavin Christopher and Ben Margulies at Harbour Fields, and she quickly started writing complete songs with music and lyric. Gavin, Ben, and Mariah continued to collaborate after graduation while residing in New York City in order to produce a full-length demo. Eventually, pop vocalist Brenda Kay Starr received the demo. Brenda took Mariah to a number of industry galas and kept passing the demo around town. Tommy Mottola, the head of Columbia Records, received the sample cassette at one such function. While driving home, he listened to the cassette. Upon listening to the initial 2 tracks, he was certain Mariah Carey would become a celebrity. Finding her took 2 weeks, but once he found her, Tommy signed her to a record deal right away and put together a team to plan her big break. Tommy believed that Mariah could be Columbia's equivalent of Whitney Houston of Arista Records. Achievement. On June 12, 1990, Mariah's self-titled debut album was made available. It is said that Columbia invested $1 million on promoting the album. Although sales were initially sluggish, the album would go on to sell more than 15 million copies worldwide and be certified 9X Platinum in the US alone. But with the album, she won a Grammy for Best New Artist and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, in addition to hitting number 1 on the Billboard charts. Although Mariah's second album, Emotions, from 1991, was also a huge hit, her career really took off with her third album, Music Box, from 1993. Music Box finally sold an astounding 28 million copies worldwide after spending 128 weeks on the Billboard chart. Among the all-time best-selling albums is this one. Her success did not fade quickly. Not to be outdone, her subsequent album, Merry Christmas, sold over 15 million copies globally. Over the course of her career, her albums would go on to sell 20 million, 10 million, and 8 million copies globally. All I Want for Christmas payouts, with 16 million global sales and counting. The song All I Want for Christmas Is You from Mariah's Christmas album is arguably the most well-known feature. It goes on to become one of the most successful and best-selling singles ever. The song is a huge popular around the holidays on streaming sites like Spotify and Pandora, and it can be found in numerous Christmas movies. It is estimated that Mariah and producer Walter Afanasieff earned $600,000 a year in royalties on the song, which took them barely 15 minutes to write. To date, the song has brought in over $60 million gross royalty. Virgin Agreement. Mariah signed a then record-breaking $100 million 5-album contract with Virgin Music in April 2001 after leaving Columbia Records. That's equivalent to $150 million when inflation is taken into account. At the time, it was the largest contract in music history. It was released on August 18, 2001. Glitter was Mariah's debut album under Virgin Records. The record served as the soundtrack for the semi-autobiographical film of the same name, which was based on a fictitious version of Mariah. Unfortunately, critics and viewers criticized the record and movie, which were both published on September 21, 2001, 10 days after the 9/11 terrorist events. The film is renowned for being among the largest box office failures ever. Mariah had to be admitted to the hospital due to severe tiredness even before the film's premiere. She apparently went through an emotional and physical breakdown. The album sold 3 million copies over time. Any other artist would have been proud of that. Sadly, it was a complete failure for Mariah and Virgin's brand new $100 million deal. Virgin paid Mariah $28 million to terminate the contract. early because they were so eager to be free of her. After all was said and done, Mariah received close to $50 million for her work, producing Virgin's single album, Return to Achievement. Following her release from Virgin, Mariah inked a $24 million contract with Island Records for 5 albums. Although her albums with Island did not sell particularly well, The Emancipation of Mimi from 2005 was her biggest hit, selling 10 million copies worldwide. After putting out one album with Def Jam, Mariah signed with Epic Records in 2015, where she is still contracted today. She received $18 million in 2012 for participating in a single American Idol season. She agreed to a 2-year residency at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas for $30 million in 2015. With $27 million in total earnings, this helped her rank among the highest earning women music for the year. Individual life. Tommy Mottola, a music manager and producer, married Mariah in 1993. In 1998, they got divorced. From 2008 until 2016, she wed actor Nick Cannon. Together, they are parents to 2 boys and a girl who were born in April 2011. In 2016, she had a brief engagement to Australian businessman James Packer, and from 1998 to 2001, she had dated musician Luis Miguel. Real property. Mariah has divided her time over the past few decades between a triplex apartment in New York City's Tribeca district and a house she leases in Beverly Hills. She was married to Tommy Mottola in the mid-1990s, and the two of them shared a 33,000 square foot mansion on a 51-acre estate in Westchester County, New York. After splitting up with investor Nelson Peltz, the father-in-law of Brooklyn Beckham and the father of Nicola Peltz, they sold this house in 1998. In less than a year, a fire completely destroyed the house. Mariah is the owner of a Bahamas holiday home in the Sandy Springs neighborhood of Atlanta, Georgia. Mariah Carey paid $5.65 million in November 2021 for a 4.2-acre estate featuring a 16,000 square foot colonial home. In September 2022, she put the house up for sale, asking $6.05 million. In May 2023, she finally took $4.03 million, $35 million loss. This is a tour of the property via video. Mariah Carey doesn't have a $500 million wealth. In contrast to numerous websites, including Wikipedia as of this writing, Mariah Carey is not worth $520 million. In reality, we discovered throughout their 2015 divorce process, through her own court documents, that Mariah had $150 million net worth in 2008 when she married. Nick's 2008 net worth was under $500,000. In addition, the documents revealed that Nick made $2.07 million in 2014 compared to Mariah's $6.03 million. Nick was required to hand over $5,000 a month to a trust for their twins and was granted ownership of a 2012 Ferrari as part of their eventual undisclosed settlement. Mariah would need to have made more than $1 billion gross profits over the course of the next 10 or more years in order to have increased her value from $150 million 2008 to $520 million now. However, this is not the case.